What is up, my lovelies? Welcome back to the Change Your Story podcast. For those that are new here, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here wherever you're tuning in from today, maybe Spotify or Apple, or you're here on YouTube. Welcome. Let me know in the comments below. I'm so excited that you are sharing your time with me, your ears, your heart, and your mind. So, my hope, my prayer is that you feel filled, that you feel awakened, that you have new revelations and see things differently. And I'm, just so grateful that I get to be a part of this journey with you. For those that are new here, my name is Hannah Dawson. I am the owner and founder of the Fit Club app. It's your all-in-one female transformation app where I help you build a fit mind, a fit body, and a fit life, so that you will have such a radical, healthy, amazing relationship with yourself. And today and throughout this next month, we are talking about changing your food story, right? Your food story. If you haven't listened to episode 1, listen to episode 1. They do build on each other. This is episode 2. So today we're really talking about food not being the enemy, right? Food is not the enemy. Fear, guilt, shame, and disconnection are, right? It's the story that we've attached to certain things that is the thing that keeps us tripped up, hung up. What I would say is this, is that the problem was never food. And I said this in the first episode and I'll keep saying it. The problem was never food. It was the story you've attached to it. The problem was never that you couldn't reach a goal or that your body was incapable or it was your genetics or it was this or it was that. It's the story that you've attached to that meaning. That becomes what we call belief system. But like I said before, belief systems are created by repetition of thought, of thinking and believing something over and over and over again. So, can we change our belief system? Absolutely. So let's just tackle this idea around food being the enemy. This idea around our language around food, right? Our language language is powerful. Words are powerful. My mic is going to die, so I hope I finish this episode before it dies. Our language around food, our emotions around food, the undercurrent around it, And so, what I want you to think about this week, last week you went through awareness, you did a little bit of detective work. This week, I want you to think about, your language. So, do you call food good and bad? And why? Right? Is some food good food, some food bad food? Or I was bad. I was bad and fell off track. Or this weekend's my cheat day. You have to really understand words and the meaning of words because they're so powerful, right? The context at which we give that word is a container. And that container really manifests our belief system in our results. And so we have to really think about the idea about food, the words that we give to food. Do we feel guilty when we eat food? Do we feel good when we eat good food? Do we feel bad when we eat bad food or junk food, right? We have to start seeing the language and the way that we relate to it. And here's the thing, this is what I'm going to talk about today. Food is not good or bad. Food is food. So food is energy. And I talked about this in the laws of alignment. So everything is energy. You and I are energy. Food is energy. Everything. Our thoughts carry energy. Food is energy. That's what calories are. They are energy. So some energy is more nutrient dense than others. I go into depth in this in my nutrition school inside the Fit Club app. It's included in the app and you get a 7-day free trial. Pin that for later if you want to learn more. But food is energy. Calories are energy. So it's not good or bad. Your body doesn't go, oh, you put something bad into me. Your body goes, did this give me energy? Or am I not getting energy? That's it. You consume more energy than you burn, right? Puts you in a surplus. That means we put weight on. If you burn more energy than you consume, you are in a deficit, right? And if we burn the same as if we expend as much as we consume, then we maintain. And essentially that is my light just died. That's okay. We're going to keep going because I'm just going to keep rolling, and hopefully my mic doesn't die too. So, that is like what you have to understand is that food is not good or bad. There's a certain amount, girls, that you need to eat, ladies, I should say, that you need to eat for your age, your activity level, your goal. That's it. And if you eat, the food for your age, your weight, I meant to say, your activity level and your goal, you will reach that goal, whatever that goal is. Is it health? Is it fat loss? Is it muscle gain? You need to understand, because once you understand that that is it, food is not bad or good. There's a certain amount that you need. And, there's some food that is more nutrient dense than other food. There's some food that is more calorie dense than other food. Now, just because it's healthy food and it's whole food doesn't mean you can't gain weight. All right? Because at the end of the day, weight gain and weight loss come from energy balance. That's the law of thermodynamics. So the law of thermodynamics states that if we consume more than we burn, we put weight on. If we burn more than we consume, we lose weight. It doesn't matter who you are. My mic is going to die. Just give me a second. All right. So we're out of a mic, and I am just riffing now. We're just going because that is who we are. We're just going to go. So hopefully my voice is being heard. This is one of these days, and we're just going to keep going. We don't have to be perfect, right? Now I lost my train of thought. So thermodynamics, nothing overrides it. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter whatever's going on in your body. If I was to lock you away in a room for a week, you would lose body weight. Your body would lose weight. You would lose weight because you had no energy coming in, right? So it doesn't matter who you are. Yes, is there certain conditions that make it harder for us? Yes, but does that say that the law of thermodynamics doesn't work? No, right? It works always, but there can be other factors. There can be other factors from hormones. There can be other factors from lifestyle. There can be the most important factors, which are belief systems, right? The things that we attach to food, good and bad, and those, our beliefs drive our behavior. So if we believe that we are bad, we'll just keep perpetuating that type of behavior. It's like a cycle that we can't seem to get out of. So we have to heal our relationship with food. We have to change the food story. So for some of us, just understanding nutrition, what macros are, what calories are, what they do in our body, how much we need. Sometimes that's all we need. But also we need to understand what is the meaning that we have attached to those, and then getting rid of the language that we're speaking about that, because food is always for you. Food is good for you, right? It feeds you, it builds you. Now, are you using food to the best of your ability to nourish yourself? Or are you coming from a place of restriction? Are you coming from a place of addiction? Are you coming from a place of obsession, right? Because here's the thing, and we're going to talk about this in the next episode, which is you're not addicted to food. You're actually trying to avoid, escape, and numb. A lot of the time we use food like that. I won't get into that today. But today I just wanted you to understand that food is not good or bad. There's a certain amount that you need. Nothing overrides the law of energy balance. Essentially, you've heard it before, calories in, calories out. That is actually ultimately true, right? Yes, there's other factors that come into play, but nothing overrides the law of thermodynamics. Nothing overrides laws. If you jump off a building, it doesn't matter if you believe in gravity or not, you're hitting the ground, unless you have a kite or a chute on you that kind of helps you lower to the ground. Doesn't matter if you believe in thermodynamics or not, that's how your body works. Yes, there's hormones that come into play, but a lot of the time, what makes it really hard to reach our goal and really messed up with food is our belief system, our knowledge of not understanding, our daily habits of our rituals around food, and our environments. So those are things that we have to look into, and that is kind of what I do in my 12-week mentorship. Is we have phases that we work through. We set a goal, and then we work through all these things that I'm going to be sharing with you on the podcast. So again, everything will be in the show notes. So today I'm going to leave you with some homeworks. Homework. Okay. So number one, your little prompt questions is, what foods do you fear? Write them out. All right? What foods make you feel guilty? And then, are you actually listening to your body when it comes time to eat or when you're full? And then beside those questions, why? So what foods do you fear? Why? What's the story attached to that? Why do you fear it? And then what foods make you guilty? Why? Ask you. Remember, I said you only get answers to questions you are willing to ask, right? And then, are you actually listening to your body? Right? I have been on both ends of the spectrum. There's times when, I was hungry, but I wouldn't allow myself to eat, right? And because I was dieting. Or times when I was full, but I wouldn't stop eating, binging, right? And I was doing those because there's belief systems and belief systems that were driving behaviors, restrict, and then avoiding all the foods I thought were bad, only to be in the pantry at night eating all the foods I thought were bad. You've been there, you know. And what really broke me free was when, probably 8 years ago, when I decided to, I was taking more education, getting all my nutrition certifications, I was learning, but I still had a food story. I still had limited beliefs around my worth, around my body, what it was capable of, what I couldn't do. I didn't trust myself around food. I didn't trust food. I didn't trust my body. And so when I was learning, I was also competing. And it was my last competition I was prepped for 8 weeks before I dropped out, because I realized it was starting to create habits in me that I didn't like. It was starting to belief systems that were coming up. I was starting to spiral. I was starting to do things. During this time, I was really understanding food, and I was applying what I was learning, applying this flexible dieting approach. Flexible dieting is not a diet. It's a methodology approach to food, really allowing myself really structures around like 80% of my intake coming from whole foods, and allowing myself that balance of 20% soul foods within my tracking. And that was working for me. And then going into diet prep for coaching, and having kind of coaches that were wonderful, but very old school. So, fruit was off. It was rice, it was broccoli, it was chicken. That was it. I couldn't, even if it fit my macros. So I came from more, I can allow myself a piece of chocolate if it fits my macros, as long as I'm hitting my protein and that stays within my deficit. That was my mindset. But then this coaching was messing me up, because it's like, no, you're not allowed to do that. And so that was the first time that I was like, I dropped out of my competition. And then that January, I went to go do another fat loss. It was like this little whisper came in. What if you didn't do a fat loss and you did a build? Let's see how much muscle you can build. And it was the first time I'm like, oh my gosh, I know how to do this. I'm going to do a build intentionally. I'm going to track. I'm going to slowly increase my calories. I'm going to train. I'm going to do it. And it was the scariest thing. I won't get into the story today, but what I'm trying to say is, what I learned from that period in my life is that what I thought food would do to me, it didn't. And actually the thing I was most afraid of didn't come true. And the thing that I most needed, it gave that to me. What I found was, when I had to make myself eat the food throughout the day, I didn't binge at night. I actually did not. It was so hard to make myself eat. I wasn't like in a huge calorie surplus either. I was just eating consistently, because before I would restrict, or like I would track, but I'd be like, oh, maybe if I cut carbs out here, then I can eat a dessert later, or like, okay, right? We do it. We're like, oh, I'll just cut this out here because like I can have that there later. But then like you starve all day, and then you can't control, your body wants that food. It's not getting the nutrients because you're tracking macros. If it fits your macros, it doesn't matter if you're getting nutrients. But when I went into a build, I had to make sure that I was getting the right amount of nutrients, the right amount of carbs, eating enough fats, drinking enough water. By the time dinner came, I didn't even freaking want to eat dinner because I was full. The food obsession went away. And so what I realized was, oh my God, I wasn't eating enough. I had a really unhealthy pattern. So my plan was to do this build for 8 weeks, and it turned into 8 months, which was great, which was something beautiful. It was a beautiful time. I felt strong in my body. I had energy. I slept better. My workouts got better. I had a better relationship with food. And then my story evolved, and I'll share a little bit more of that later. And it turned into, oh my gosh, how many years? Like I didn't diet again for until last year, this was the first year that I actually decided what it was that I truly wanted to feel in my body. I built muscle for years. And then I got to a point where I was scared to diet again because I didn't know if I could trust myself to do it healthy. And I did. And that's a story for another time. If you want to hear that story, you can comment below, tell me the story, and maybe I'll create a story around that. I think I did actually share a little bit of that story on the podcast in January, I think. But I can do it here on YouTube too. Now I've lost my train of thought. So what I'm saying is we have to kind of look at the story around it, and it's going to start showing us patterns, and we're going to start seeing things differently, because it's only when we see things differently that transformation can happen. So I'm excited to see how this week goes for you. Again, everything is in the show notes, including links to work with me, including to come and hang out with me on Instagram. If you're here in Edmonton, you can also come and take my Pilates classes if you like reformer Pilates. And then there's a Fit Club app. You get a 7-day free trial, and that is where all of the Fit Club Nutrition School is. You're going to learn so much in there. It's 7 days free, and then you can choose your subscription plan from there. Again, if you have questions, let me know below. Other than that, that is it for this episode. I will see you in week 3, episode 3, and we're really talking about being addicted to food, that you're not actually addicted to food. You are trying to escape, and I'm going to explain why. And this is going to bring some major breakthroughs. So until next week, or until next time, I will see you on the next episode. I love you all. Bye for now.